armed and dangerous, a man arrested with 2 firearms and ammunition at Disneyland. Now the search is on for the woman he was with.
Thank you for being with us on this Thursday. I'm Shelley Rupus.
And I'm Joe Dominguez. Those stories straight ahead. But first to that big announcement, Cyworks and the Winston-Salem Children's Museum is merging. Also new right now at 4, a major highway in North Carolina shut down after a rock slide. It happened in Caldwell County along US 321 near Watauga County. The rock slide happened around 9 this morning. The road remains blocked in both directions, and the Department of Transportation says it could stay closed until February 5th. No drivers were injured in that rock slide. It makes you wonder what kind of role the weather played in that rock slide. Across the Piedmont, there was nothing to complain about. Cloudy, as you look and see here in Winston-Salem. But Van, tomorrow might be something different.
Looking good.
Well, tomorrow's looking better.
New developments right now at 4 o'clock. Investigators have found at least 15 dead dogs in scattered burial sites at an animal shelter.
This is a story we first told you about yesterday. The ASPCA and Hope County Sheriff's Office are conducting a multi-day sweep of the Haven Shelter's 122-acre property. The search comes after a criminal investigation launched months ago following several complaints. Many people from the public reported unsanitary and unfit living conditions for 600 animals there. There's a couple already facing several animal cruelty charges. Hope County officials say more charges are pending. This horse is now on the road to recovery after it was rescued by the High Point Safe Haven Equine Rescue and Retirement Group. The group has named the horse Pharaoh. It was found underweight with rooted hooves and bruises. The group says Pharaoh is on the road to recovery and will soon be up for adoption at 16 years old. Officials at the center say he is expected to be okay. Some business owners are using the Panthers' success to make a profit. More and more places are selling knockoff Panthers gear in Charlotte. The prices are much cheaper, but owners have to walk a fine line. The merchandise can't feature any logos or key phrases like "keep pounding" because that would be illegal. Police are keeping a close eye on those knockoff businesses to make sure they stay within the law. Super Bowl 50 is more than a week away, but Kevin Conley is here with a story you'll want to keep in mind when you watch the game. You've got to have an eagle eye on this one, right?
Now, he didn't say how much he charges per cleat, but he did say that his prices were reasonable. So you be the judge.
On an athlete's paycheck, right?
Yes, yes, without a doubt. But they are works of art that they wear every Sunday during games.
That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Thanks, Kevin.
Good for him.
Fox 8 will be in California to bring you full coverage of Super Bowl week. Our pregame special, Panthers Pounding to a Championship, airs the day of the big game. We're on from noon to 4, covering the Panthers from Levi's Stadium and here in the Piedmont Triad. Today marks 30 years since the Challenger tragedy. 7 members of the Space Shuttle Challenger crew died in 1986 when a booster engine failed and the shuttle broke apart. It happened a little more than a minute after launch from the Kennedy Space Center in Florida. NASA will pay tribute to the crew during today's Day of Remembrance. This video from the vault shows the crew of the Challenger preparing for that mission. The president is signing a memorandum today to create a government task force that'll tackle curing cancer. Vice President Joe Biden, who lost his son Beau to cancer, will lead the task force. The president pledged in his final State of the Union address to start a government-wide push to cure cancer, comparing the initiative to efforts to send a man to the moon in the 1960s. The vice president has said he plans to seek out both private and public resources to fight cancer. The panel is expected to meet for the first time on Monday. The stakes are high. Win or lose, there's a lot of money invested in the Super Bowl, from ticket sales to airfare and fan memorabilia. Tom Gaffel, visiting professor of economics at Wake Forest University, is here to break down the economic effect of the big game, win or lose. Give us an idea. How big is this for the state?
Well, I think you got to start with the Panthers. This is huge for the Panthers.
You can't escape it at this time.
Yeah, it's everywhere.
All right, Tom McFall, thank you very much with Wake Forest University, helping us understand a little bit about all the money that's tied into the Super Bowl right now. Shelley?
All right, thank you, Joe.
Iowa caucus is just days away. There is a heavy debate with women on who should lead the nation.
That's right, especially like who should take the Democratic nomination, a woman or a man?
Randy Kay sat down with one group of women at a wine night who say they are not voting for Hillary Clinton just because she's a woman.
The Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. holiday always gives people a chance to take the day off work and instead just really work on helping others during a day of service.
But for some Guilford County school students, it's an opportunity to show that they do acts of service all year long. As Cindy Farmer tells us, it's a great example of what's right with our schools.
Cindy Farmer, Fox 8 News.
It's a nice bow tie. Students in Guilford County schools can earn a seal for their diploma and cords to wear with their cap and gowns when they graduate if they accumulate and log enough service learning hours. Ethan Couch, also known as the AFFLUENZA teen, is back in the United States. The 18-year-old was convicted in a fatal drunk driving accident back in 2013 and then fled to Mexico to avoid jail after violating probation last month. He's scheduled to appear in court on February 19th to determine if he will be tried in adult court. Melanoma striking earlier than ever.
That's the warning now from doctors who say teens are putting themselves at risk at an early age.
Marilyn McKean takes a look at what doctors say could be the reason for the increase and what you can do to protect your children right now. In the study, all but 2 of the 63 women in the study who had melanoma before the age of 30 had used tanning beds. Doctors say an estimated 10,000 people will die of melanoma in 2016.
All right, we're now a little more than a week away from Super Bowl 50 when the Panthers will take on the Broncos.
And we now know just how much Americans may be betting on the upcoming game. According to the American Gaming Association, Americans will bet $4.2 billion on the Super Bowl. The organization says nearly 97% of those bets will be wagered illegally. Overall last year, the AGA says Americans bet almost $150 billion total on sports. Get a load of this. A couple says they have their dog to thank for saving them from an armed robber.
Wow, what a story. The dog even took a bullet from the intruder, and there's something else that makes their hero just really remarkable. Valina Jones has this story. All right, this is just another fantastic story. Playing sports can get expensive when you add up the equipment and the uniforms and all that. So one coach wanted to do something really special for his group of middle school basketball players.
It's a surprise that started as a prank at one Chicago school. Amy Rutledge has a story on one coach really making a difference.
Count them off and just keep this cycle going.
I just love that. How heartwarming is that?
Absolutely. A big pay it forward moment for those guys too.
Oh, for sure. And then I love the fact that he surprised them, right? He told them they were going to, you know, that they were going to get in trouble, and then they found out. That's just fantastic.
Absolutely. I mean, it makes me think back to what the hot shoe item was when I was a kid in school. Yeah. I'm not going to say, but I think the hot item for you may have been like jellies.
Oh gosh,
jellies
I do
on your
remember
shoes?
Jellies. Yeah, that was like a bazillion years ago. Yes. But anyway, good for that coach. That's really neat, right, guys? That's just really
Absolutely, a great coach surprise there.
I'm Joe Dominguez in Winston-Salem. Thanks for watching Fox 8. Start local, stay local.